we want to give our recruiting segment the love it deserves as well. And Wolverine Casual, like, this is the second time we've had a super chat that perfectly introduces. So well done, guys. Wolverine dropped a 2, and he said, also, is Olesh just gone? Should we start looking for a new tight end? Well, TJ's about to talk about Olesh and another Ivan Taylor, who has been looking a little bit.
So the answer is no. Olesh is not gone. Yes, he visited Oregon. And man, after we talk about Ivan Taylor and Olesh, we got to have a talk, guys. We got to have a talk. People got to stop freaking out. People got to just take a breath. But regarding Andrew Olesh, he visited Oregon. Good news. Oregon's projected to land a different tight end. Also, just like the Alabama visit, just like the Oregon visit, it wasn't enough to move the needle. Quite honestly, here's the reality of the Olesh situation. He wants to be at Michigan. His mom wants him to be at Michigan. They love Michigan. They love Michigan. The concern for Olesh is simply they have a concern for the potential ruling on the NCAA sign gate situation. We will have the answer to that in November. In my opinion, if there is nothing, which I'm anticipating it not to be much, because trust me, if there was more, then there'd be more concern. Michigan's well aware of what's in that notice of allegations. They've already, they're going to respond in November. I don't think he's leaving because he doesn't want to leave. The only reason why he's doing his due diligence right now and visiting and experiencing other programs is, one, to experience it, because how often does anyone get this type of experience in life to be courted by the top schools in the nation? And then on top of that, you get to go to all these different places and that you've never seen. So, I mean, he's just literally going through the process, guys. I think people are a little too stressed out on this situation. The one school to worry about is not Oregon. It's not Alabama. It's Penn State. Penn State's the one school that we would want to be aware of, or at least have our cautious optimism to, in terms of him staying, is because, one, Olesh is a Pennsylvania kid, and Penn State is making a hard push right now. And I feel if Olesh is not satisfied with the November situation in terms of what comes out with the notice of allegations, I feel Penn State's going to be the area he goes, or the school he would go to. I don't think it's anyone else but Penn State. And like I said, so the tight end that Oregon's actually projected to get is, I got it right here, Vanderplug, about as German as it gets. Vanderplug, tight end, currently committed to Washington, I believe. And he's fairly highly ranked, not to Olesh's level, but he's from California, West Coast boy. That's kind of where we are. Those predictions, by the way, for Vanderplug to Oregon actually just came in 2 days ago. So if that doesn't tell you anything about the reality of the dynamic there, I don't know what to tell you, but people got to stop freaking out on some of these players. Just relax, allow the process to play out. The next player we're going to talk about, John, is Ivan Taylor. This is another one of our players who seem to have a potential wandering eye. It's a Michigan-Alabama battle. He likes Michigan. His mom likes Michigan. His dad this is another one where the dad's on the fence right now. But here's the reality of the situation. He just visited this weekend. Michigan did a really good job with him. Everything went well by all accounts. It's going to be one of those recruitments where we're going to have to see it to the finish line. Alabama's going to keep pushing. And here's the one thing that actually, I'll be honest, it kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is. Guess who's recruiting Ivan Taylor to Alabama? Guess who? Keon Saab, baby. Keon Saab. They have Keon Saab and Ivan Taylor's ear recruiting him to Alabama. Of course. It frustrates me because, man, Keon Saab never would have left if the Rod Moore situation occurred just a week earlier, But it is what it is. He just wanted playing time, which is why he went to Alabama. It was not a money thing. It was a playing time thing, which is why he went to Alabama. He's at Alabama playing very well. But currently he's recruiting Ivan Taylor when it's similar to, I'm trying to remember. There was a Florida kid who recruited Aiden Childs to Florida. can't remember. It was a safety.
Boy,
One of
deep cut.
Yeah. Anyways, but
Someone in chat will know
yeah, it is what it is.
every time.
So that's where we are, John. So now that we've got all that out of the way, this is what I just want to like share to the community and to everybody, like just paying close attention, or you guys are now re-engaged to the recruiting process because things are now heating up. It's fun again. We're in on top projects. We're not losing every single top guy because we don't have the funds to play the game. This is what I want to just share with everyone. One, the donors are very motivated and aggressive right now for Michigan. There is not one, like, for example, there was, and some of the people in the chat will know, Moose is going to be very familiar with what I'm going to share because he was in on this. There was somebody today on Twitter there was a question proposed by Mark Ryan, who's a 97-1, the ticket air person. And he goes, is Dave Portnoy the main cause for this Bryce Underwood thing? And I responded to the comment and I said, he is not the main donor here. And then somebody responded to me, and Wolverine Nation let him know the deal. And I also let him know that Portnoy is not the main donor for the Bryce Underwood situation. There is another donor, and there's actually another and other donors who are in on the Bryce Underwood situation. But Dave Portnoy is involved. Dave Portnoy is working on other targets, which is why you are seeing these top level targets from many different
All
positions.
of a sudden, you're hearing top 5 in the country people looking at Michigan.
There are multiple big money donors right now, and Dave Portnoy is not the biggest, and he's aggressive. Like, he's an aggressive donor, and he's not the biggest. Okay. So just kind of like allow this to unfold and grow, and you will see. And I do understand why people might be a little hesitant until you see results, but we're seeing it. We're seeing the Balboa commitment. We're seeing the Shamari Earls momentum, and you are now seeing with these other names, and you are now seeing with Bryce Underwood. A lot of people really did not believe the Bryce Underwood situation, and you see where it's trending right now. And then the last thing I want to just hit on is we got to take a deep breath, guys. Like, things are not going to occur every single day. We are talking about decisions that are as big as figuring out who your significant other is, who you're going to marry, and buying a house. Like, these decisions do not come easily to these families, these kids. We have got to allow it to play out. It's tough, man. And you have everyone courting you and giving you everything, telling you you're the greatest in the world. Like, it's not an easy process for these kids. We have got to allow it to just, like, everyone's like, I got some people freaking out on Andrew Olesh. Like, just please, like, take a breath, allow it to play out. These kids do like Michigan. They want to be here, but like, just like anything, you want to make sure you're making the right choice because it's literally going to be one of the biggest decisions of your life. It's a top 3 decision. And if you want to say naming your kid is actually 3 and this is 4th, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like one of the hardest decisions you're ever going to make. So, just please allow it to play out. And like, another thing is, like, I don't get updates every single day. Like, these things sometimes, you got to let them play out. I got people, asking me the daily. It's just, the reality is, like, I'm not bothering people every day. That's not happening. That's crazy. Plus, the truth is too, these kids' minds change on the daily as well. So it's not even accurate to get a gauge test every single day. So just all I'm saying is just enjoy the ride. Things are going extremely well for Michigan, and let's see what the boys can do.
Yep. And look, sometimes it's actually the easiest decision in the world if you know that they're the one. Right. And so sometimes with these things, it's up to Michigan's recruiting staff to paint that picture. And we'll see who comes and who doesn't, but that's just part of the journey, man. So you got to enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly, John. And here's an example of that. Brady Hart knows that we're the one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have a kid who committed a year early, a year and a half early, ready to build another class. A JJ McCarthy knew you're right. So, like, it's just, you got to allow it to sometimes just develop, and everyone knows at a different time and pace.
So TJ, our community is making it rain, and thank you all for being so patient with me here. But we got to start with Nick here. Ryan Day's dildo is shaped like a beard follicle, and Nick also complimented my beard earlier. So Nick, for that, I thank you very much. I take good care of it.
Nick always coming with the one-line hitters, letting Ryan Day know the deal.
Everybody throw that Ryan Day emoji in chat if you
Ryan.
want to support this. Thanks, Nick. Wolverine Casual with the 2 is the upgrade on NIL a more thing or a U of M thing? Isn't it kind of a both thing?
It is a top to bottom thing. This is more for sure was a major role in this because Harbaugh really was not about this. He just didn't, he's an old school coach who believes in football, God, and family, right? Like I think that's his 3 things. But the reality is Moore understands the climate of college football, and he definitely pushed for this structure. The regions, John, and just again, shout out to us, John, because in late April, early May, we told everybody before everybody else, just like the Underwood little thing, that Michigan's change of approach has occurred. And no one believed us. Everyone was like, no. I was like, yeah.
Now we're talking about $5 million.
Yeah, now we're talking about $5 million quarterbacks, bro. That's where we are now, right? So, again, we brought that to everyone's attention early May or late April, one of the two. And, the reality is the regions down to President Ono has always been one of the proactive voices in this. Ward Manuel, listen, I'm critical of Ward Manuel. I know a lot of you are critical of Ward Manuel. Ward Manuel is playing ball. Ward Manuel is at these donor functions. He is encouraging donors to support the NIL. He is now becoming public. Listen, we know our position on Ward Manuel, but at the end of the day, you got to give credit where credit's due, and he is stepping up. He's doing a very good job right now. He's doing a very good job. It's a shame it took this long to get here, though. But and then obviously Sharon Moore, Jared Wagner with the Collective Champion Circle. You have Sean McGee, the general manager, who is a big-time player. He's making moves, man. And then you got Sharon Moore and the rest of the coaching staff putting in work. It is a top-to-bottom effort. Everybody, and we told you guys in May, everybody is looking and rowing in the same direction, and you are seeing the fruits of that now.